Flowchart? Okay, but do you remember all these things or not still now? What? Have you written all those things? Because that was the part of your interview. You have to explain that part whenever you have to explain your project. That was your pipeline of your project. First of all, tell me, have you understood that part or not? First of all, tell me. Not data explore. That was the pipeline. Pipeline. So, what are the steps of a pipeline, and what are the steps still now we learn? Just tell me, what is the first step? Now, tell me, what is the process? Or what is the pipeline of your project? So, Raj, if you don't get any point, you can ask me, okay? Because we are mainly going to teach in our class in English. Because students try to mimic like their mentor, and you have to give your interview also in English, right? Tell me. I will give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Remember all these points. You have to tell me all this pipeline. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So this is my first lecture.
First lecture.
Yeah, sir. In morning only I got the link of the teachment.
Okay. What are the topics have you learned till now?
So in Python we had learned about the uh, four libraries, and then SQL.
Okay. Inside the Python, what you learned? Which topics?
So in Pythons we learn about the data types, different types of data types, and the conditional statement, if-else statements, and w- w- how we can use it. And secondly, we get to know about the OOPS language, OOPS concept, in which we learn about the how to create the class and how to create the object in it, and through which we use these concepts in the libraries in NumPy, Panda, and Matplotlib and Seaborn.
Okay. As of now, today we have to complete our SQL part, and then we will continue the stats part. Okay. So I will you can think
Okay,
that
sir.
the stats we mainly going to start from tomorrow. We have a little bit part remaining in our SQL. That today we are going to complete.
Okay, sir. So can I get the recordings of the last few lectures?
Yeah, you can watch here. This is also recording, whichever I'm showing here.
Yeah.
You can contact the management team. They will show you how to watch the recordings.
Okay, sir.
Completed? Completed or not? Part. First of all, write down all this part in your notebook. Why I am writing all these things here? स्वराज तुम्हाला पण हे लेक्चर्स पाहायच्यात बरं का? तुम्हाला ऍक्सेस आहे का याची घेतली का नाही तुम्ही? एसक्यूएल कालच्या क्लासमध्ये. हा. काय? नाही नाही तुम्हाला मॅम पाठवतील. श्वेता मॅम. त्यांना सांगा. Now this is the complete your pipeline, and there is the next part before part of this data injection, that was the connect to the databases. Completed or not? So tell me, what is the first process? Define a problems. No, you are not getting what I am saying. That I am saying that what are EDA, directly EDA from, so that they are known as a databases, not SQL. That will be any databases. Okay, then okay, ingestion, ingestion, not injection. Ingestion. Data ingestion means loading the data. Then, so what are the points inside the EDA? Single, no, bivariant analysis, not single. Bivariant means what? What after that? What you told me? Repeat again. Hmm. Hmm. You told me that age, that all things. That was the just example. That means if we are doing the analysis of a age column, so I have given the example that there is a age column. So we will simply analysis on one column, and that is the bivariant analysis example. Otherwise, the price column. Don't write down price as it is. We are just exploring one price column. Which types of prices are there? by doing their visualizations, and that is known as the bivariant, single variant analysis. That is bivariant. Okay. Univariant, bivariant. These are the types. And then insights from, I am asking that insights means, what is the simple meaning of insight? And don't tell me point like that. EDA, data ingestion, visualization, bivariant, univariant. You have to explain all these points. These are the main key and words which should be included in your explanation. Let me tell you that. Tell me, I am writing directly from here. Tell all these things to interviewer. Don't write down directly data exploration, shape of data. You have to tell them like in a storytelling mode. So first of all, we fetched our data ingestion process completed. Then we started the EDA. Inside the EDA, we started the exploration of data. We then get to know that there was the shape of data that much. And then whatever your point having there, you can add all these points. Don't try directly write down single points, because this is the very important step, because your mainly chances of getting selected in that company depend on how you are going to explain all these things. This is the main part, because nowadays anyone can create dashboard, but if you are able to explain all these things to the interviewer, then there are the chances that you are going to be selected. Okay, so mainly you have to focus on all these things. Then what is the next procedure? After the EDA, okay, and what is feature selection? Simple meaning of feature selection. What is feature? First of all, tell me. Tell me first. Feature selection. What is meaning of simple feature? First of all, tell me. I am asking the meaning of feature. Features mean no. I have explained that topic more than 3 to 4 times in the last class. Feature, simple feature. What is simple feature? Features. No. First of all, tell me, have you completed that test whichever I shared on your group? तुम्ही मला एक गोष्ट सांगा, जेव्हा लास्ट क्लास होता तेव्हा तुम्ही खरंच झोपेत तिथं होता. कारण तुम्हाला एवढ्या इझी गोष्टी आहेत तरी तुम्हाला सांगता येत नाहीयेत. काय केला 2 दिवस सांगा मला तुम्ही घरी? ऑनलाईन टेस्ट होती. बहुतेक तो ग्रुप मध्ये नाही, 601 मध्ये ऍड नाही वाटतं. काय केलात तुम्ही 2 दिवस मला हे सांगा. तुम्ही अभ्यास काय करताय सध्या? हा, प्रॅक्टिस मी तर बघायला येत नाहीये तुमची प्रॅक्टिस, पण तुम्ही किती प्रॅक्टिस करताय ते मला माहित नाहीये. काय करतात तुम्ही सॅटर्डे संडेला? कसला प्रोजेक्ट? कोणत्या सब्जेक्टचा? मी काय म्हणतोय तुम्हाला, प्रोजेक्ट तुम्हाला उद्या जाऊन ना खूप करायचे. प्रोजेक्ट आता तरी तुम्ही खूप करू शकणार आहेत, पण ऍटलिस्ट बेस तर शिका पहिल्यांदा. कसं करायचं प्रोजेक्ट? डायरेक्टली रॉकेट उडवायला जायचंय तुम्हाला? काय केलात तुम्ही किंवा काय करता? तुमचं काय टाइम टेबल चालू आहे स्टडी बाबतीत? घरी गेल्यानंतर काय करता रोज? बाकीचे तर कारण देऊ नका, कॉलेज स्कूल असतं वगैरे असलं काही. कोर्स कशासाठी घेतलेला आहे तुम्ही? असं तर होत नाहीये ना की फक्त मॉर्निंगला इथे यायचं, क्लास झाला की संपलं, उद्याच परत क्लासमध्ये यायचं. असं तर होत नाहीये ना? खरं? मला तर तसंच दिसायलंय सर्वजण सर्वजण. सध्या तरी तसंच करतायत. तुमचा हा लाईफ मधली लास्ट ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी आहे ही काहीतरी करायची. जर ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी तुम्ही मिस केली तर तुम्हाला लाईफ टाइम तुमची लाईफ चेंज होणार आहे. गधा मजदूर बनायचंय का आपल्याला? कारण जर नाही केलं तर तेच वेळ येणार आहे. माहित आहे तुम्हाला, नॉर्मल फील्ड मध्ये जॉब करून काही सिक्युरिटी नाही. कधी त्यांना ओढवतील काम नाही, तेच काम आपण करणार आहोत. पण जर तुमचीच इच्छा आहे की नाही मला नाही टाइम द्यायचा, तर तो तुमचा स्वतःचा डिसिजन आहे. काय असतं तुमचं डेली टाइम टेबल? क्लास झाल्यानंतर घरी जाऊन तुम्ही रोज काय करता? का फक्त मी इंटरव्ह्यूज घेत होतो म्हणून तुम्ही त्याची फक्त प्रिपरेशन करणार? मी सांगेल तेवढी, ते पण फक्त सॅटर्डेला. संडे म्हणजे खरंच तुमच्यासाठी सुट्टी आहे का? किती सिलेबस झालेला आहे तुमचा? तुम्ही डेटा अनालिस्टचे आहात ना, राईट? सर्वजण डेटा अनालिस्टचे आहात ना तुम्ही? तुमचं पोर्शन किती राहिला आहे माहित आहे का तुम्हाला? तुमचे पायथन झालेले आहे, ते पण बेसिक, ऍडव्हान्स अँड लायब्ररीज कंप्लीट. देन एसक्यूएल स्टार्ट झालेला आहे. खूप मोठा पार्ट नाही एसक्यूएल, खूप छोटा पार्ट आहे. 1-2 दिवसाच्या आत संपणारा पार्ट आहे. त्यानंतर स्टॅट्स. स्टॅट्स किती? 7 दिवसाचा, अदरवाईज 5 ते 6 दिवसांचा टाइम आहे याचा. कंप्लीट. इथेपर्यंतच तुम्हाला जास्तीत जास्त 2 मंथ्स लागलेत, राईट? त्यानंतर तुमचे जे पॉवर बी आहे, पॉवर बी आहे तुमचा हा 15 डेज मध्ये संपेल. झालं, तुमचा कोर्स संपत आलाय. काय राहिलंय तुमच्या कोर्समध्ये? 1 महिन्याच्या कमीपेक्षा टाइम राहिलाय तुमच्याकडे. आणि तुम्ही प्रिपरेशन किती केलेली आहात 2 महिन्यामध्ये? मी एक आज विचारतोय म्हणून तुम्हाला की तुम्ही काय करत आहात. मला वाटलं होतं की तुम्ही काहीतरी करत असताल घरी स्टडी, पण तुमच्या रिॲक्शन वरून तर कळतंय की तुम्ही काहीच करत नाही आहात घरी. असं तर नाहीये की तुमच्या बॅच मधले कोणी पार्ट टाइम जॉब करताय. दुपारच्या वर बॅचला या 1च्या. किती जण पार्ट टाइम जॉब करत क्लास करतायत, कळेल तुम्हाला. कॉल सेंटर वरती काम करून स्टुडंट्स क्लास करतायत तिथे. हाऊसवाईफ सारख्या लेडी इथे क्लास करतायत त्यांच्या मुलांना सांभाळत. तुम्हाला, मला वाटतं की काही टेन्शनच नाहीये. पण ज्या टाइमला तुमच्यावरती ते बेरोजगाराचा ठप्पा लागेल त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला कळेल की काय चुकी केलेली आहे. टाइम सर्व काही हातातून एकदा इम्पॉर्टंट टाइम गेला. आता मी तुमच्यासोबत किती टाइम आहे? 1 महिना. त्यानंतर तर रोज आपले इंटरॅक्शन होणार नाहीये. तर तुम्ही या टाइम मध्येच जर तुमचे बेस्ट प्रॉब्लेम्स काय आले तर डेफिनेटली चान्सेस जास्त आहेत की ते इम्प्रूव्ह होतील. नंतर तर क्लास तर तुम्ही संपल्यानंतर काय करणार आहात? तुमच्या किती गोष्टी आतापर्यंत क्लिअर झालेल्या असायला पाहिजे? कारण सगळ्यात इम्पॉर्टंट पार्ट तुमचा ईडीएस आहे. कारण मी तुम्हाला आता जे गोष्टी विचारल्या त्यावरून मला असं कळालं की तुम्ही लास्ट क्लासमध्ये फक्त हो हो गोष्टी केल्यात. किती मोठं इंट्रोडक्शन होतं, किती चांगलं एक्सप्लेनेशन होतं त्याच्यामधलं. आणि हे तुम्हाला कोण देणार नाहीये. कोणी देणार नाहीये तुम्हाला, कारण त्याला एक्सपिरियन्स आहे तोच देईल. बरोबर. कारण त्याला माहिती तर असायला पाहिजे की मार्केटमध्ये अशा गोष्टी चालतात. तुम्ही या गोष्टी जरी सांगितल्या ना, तर तुम्ही ऍटलिस्ट 1-2 इयर्स एक्सपिरियन्स वाला जो पर्सन आहे त्याच्या इक्वलच एक्सप्लेनेशन आहे हे. तो अशा प्रकारे एक्सप्लेन करतो त्याच्या इंटरव्ह्यूअरला. इमॅजिन करा तुम्ही तर फ्रेशर्स आहात. फ्रेशर्सला एक्सप्लेन केल्यावर तर तो किती खुश होईल. खरंच तुम्हाला काही करायचं आहे तरच मी तुम्हाला जास्त एंटरटेन करेन. नाहीतर माझी मेहनत वाया जाते तुम्हाला एवढं काही आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स गोष्टी सांगून. मी सांगायचं बंद करेन. मला कोर्स संपवायला टाईम नाही लागणार. ॲक्चुअली पायथन तुमचा 1 ते 1.5 महिन्याचाच कोर्स होता. पायथनचा टाईम. पण 2 महिने घेतलेत कारण आपण प्रत्येक टॉपिकचे डिटेल्समध्ये घेतलेत त्यामध्ये निवांत. कळत असेल सर्वांना. फरक आहे का नाही तुमच्यात, की तुम्हाला एक प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज माहीत नव्हती, तोपासून ते तुम्हाला लायब्ररीज पर्यंत वाटतं का नाही तुम्हाला तुम्ही Pythonमध्ये प्रोफिशियंट झालात वगैरे काही? का नाही? मी क्लासमध्ये हे सर्व काही मटेरियल लिहितो म्हणजे याचा अर्थ असा नाही, की हे तुम्ही फक्त डोक्यामध्ये ठेवचाल आणि ते तुमच्या लक्षात राहील. बॅड अप्रोच आहे हा. तुमच्याजवळ जर मटेरियलच नसेल उद्या मी कालच्या क्लासमध्ये गोष्टी सांगितल्या. मी क्लास नंतर विचारलं असतो का कळालं का? हो. कारण का? लगेच झालेला पार्ट आहे. मग काढायला पाहिजे का नाही? किती इम्पोर्टंट पार्ट आहे हा मी तुम्हाला क्लास स्टार्ट होण्याआधीच सांगितला होता. 1 महिन्याचा तुमचा हार्डली कोर्स राहिलेला आहे डेटा अनालिसिसचा. नॉर्मल लोकांपेक्षा वेगळा राहायचा प्रयत्न करा. कारण आपल्याला नॉर्मल लोकांच्या फिल्टरमध्ये राहायचं नाहीये. तुम्हाला वाटतं का नाही, की तुम्हाला एक चांगला हाय पेइंग जॉब असला पाहिजे? वाटते की नाही? पण मला तर त्या टाइपचं मी खरं सांगतो डेडिकेशन मला दिसत नाहीये. सो डाऊट आहे हा, की तुम्ही काय करचाल, काय नाही वगैरे या बाबतीत. ओके. Let us start the next part of our class, and that is going to be SQL. Open your SQL workbench. Okay. Now we are at the SQL workbench. Okay. So here today, first of all, we will create one database inside our MySQL. Okay. First of all, open till here. Open till here. Okay. So here today we are going to create first our data set inside SQL. Okay. So if you have to create any data set, so all these data sets are in the forms of a table. Okay. Now let me first of all explain you the concept of a table. Swaraj, do you know the concept of a table? What is table? Okay, index and rows, but okay, that will be a simple data set, right? But what are the tables? Now, remember that yesterday I have given you the example of a bank. Okay, now this is XYZ bank. Okay, but this bank is having different types of their products. Now, one of them is a loan, house loan. Then second one is the, let us say, the mutual fund, right? And then there will be a different part, okay, FD, whatever that will be their products. Okay, now they are having these types of products. Okay, but there is a database. Now this database having all these types of data inside that database. So tell me, this data should be in a one rows and column. Now tell me, this data should be in a mixed format or not? Yes, yes, yeah, it will be having in the format of the rows and column because it is a SQL database. But all this database should be available inside all these rows and column. If let us say that here my loan data is finishing at this at this location. Now the mutual fund data will be started from here. Like that way, all database will be in one mixed rows and columns. No, why? Because it is having different purpose. Loan having different purpose, mutual fund is having different purpose, right? So if there will be a different types of database, so all this database will be available in the different tables. Okay, now there will be a table. Now inside this table there is the data of a loan, house loan. Okay, because house loan having this much of rows and this much of columns. Okay, so like that way, if you have to work on home loan data, you will select this table, home loan table, or you will select the mutual fund table, home loan table, right? So like that way, now these are the different types of tables. Okay, there will be a different types of tables, but you may work on different types of table in a one data in a one project. You may need a table 1 data, you may need a table 3 data, right? So at that time you may need to perform some concatenation operations. Concatenation operations means merging of data, right? Now I will explain you one more thing in detail, that is also regarding to your table. Now you have a home loan data. Okay, you have home loan data, but inside the home loan data there are also different types of process. Now this is the, you can say that a little bit complicated part, but I am explaining you this thing in a real world scenario whichever I worked on. Okay, there was the company, or no, there was the bank. Okay, there was the bank, and this bank is having the data set of their home loan in the different tables. Now this home loan data having different tables, not only home loan entire data in one table. Why? Now let me tell you one thing, that uh, loan to sanction. Okay, loan to sanction. That means you have to now sanction your loan, but you will be directly do the sanction of loan. No, there will be a different procedure before of this loan sanction, right? So now there is the first procedure, and that procedure is the having the name of a loan to distribute. Otherwise, loan to distribution means whom do I have to distribute this loan? Now there will be, let us say that there was the data of 1.5 CR of rows and columns. Okay. Now this model of loan to distribution having some filters. Okay. Now this is going to apply some filter, and after this filter I am going to short some people, and let us say that I have shortlisted the 10 lakhs of people from all this data. Okay, and all this data will be available in the different table. Now that table is loan to sanction, but there was actually more than 8 different types of procedures and the tables. Okay, but I am not making it as for that much complicated as of now. Okay, now from this home loan I have to import which one. I have to select this loan to sanction table if I have to work on this data set. If I have to work on loan to distribution data, so that time I will select this is as a my table. I will select this is as a table because this data is available inside this table, right? And that is the type of a tables. Now different tables having different types of data, right? That is the main purpose of a table. As of now we are going to create our own table. Okay, now simply how to create a table. You can create table by writing create table. Now it is going to give you some auto suggestions. Okay, create table, and you can write down whatever your table name if you want. Okay, now I'm selecting emp. Emp is my table name. Okay, now after this uh, I think it is already created. केलं नाहीये का आपण निकाल? Okay, okay. Yeah. Now I think we haven't. Okay, that was the we created in the last batch 602 batch. Okay. Now inside the this we have to first of all create our database. So inside that database we can write down any name for our database. Okay, create database, and I am going to write down name as a loan sanction. Okay, now why it is not taking? Okay, okay, loan sanction. Okay, okay, okay. हाँ. Okay, okay, okay. Now, after this database, we have to create our table. Okay. Now, how to create a simple table? Now, this is the my loan sanction project, and from that loan sanction project, I have to select the table name, that is a loan to distribution. Okay, like that way we can select our database, our table. So here I am going to write down my table name as a create create table. Now inside the table, I'm going to write down my table name. Okay, here I will write down my table name as a sanction, otherwise simply employee loan. Okay, now inside this table, I have to define all the data types, whatever I am going to select here. Now, here is also very important concept inside this table. Now, we have the employee, employee loan, right? Yeah, employee loan. But inside employee loan table, okay, inside the employee loan table, we have to define whatever columns we are going to select. Now, let us say that there is my one column, that column name is having their ID. Okay. Now, I have to first of all define which data type I am going to select for this ID column. Okay. If that will be a numerical, okay. If that will be your integer, float, whatever you are having. If otherwise your name, that is a string. Now, that should be, all these things will be predefined. Predefined means you have to select all these things before you create that database. Then tell me why we are selecting all these data types before creating our database. Why? Because this is which type of server? Which type of server is this? Server. Which type of server we are learning now? SQL. And what is meaning of SQL? Structured query language, right? Structured query language means our data should be in the format of, no, not that question. I'm asking that we have the data in the format of rows and columns, right? So that tables should be first of all predefined. If I'm going to insert image data inside that table, so tell me, it is possible? But currently we are learning SQL. I'm saying that if I have created, say, this employee loan table, and inside this table there are the different types of rows and columns. Let us say, as of now, focus on these columns. So tell me, here is I am having the integer, here I am having string, here I am having float. Okay, and these are my rows. So tell me, can I add some audio or video here? Why not line? This column is already predefined as here you are going to add only one type of data, and that data should be only integer. And that's why we have to first of all define all these columns names, because we are learning SQL. So remember that SQL means only structured data. Okay, and that's why this is very important step to define which data type or which data set you are going to add inside this table, and mainly on that specific column. Okay, now let us create our first data, or our first column as a ID. Okay, employees, create table. We have created employee loan table. Now after this we will create one data, our first column here. Okay, now that column name will be, let us say, ID. Now inside this ID I am creating this as a integer. Now this should be type of a integer. Okay, and I am making this one as a primary. Okay, primary. Okay, primary key. Okay, this is my primary key. Primary means, okay, and primary, right? Primary means, look at here, this is a you can say that this will be having unique values. Okay, here you will be having all the different types of values inside your ID. That means if let us say that there is a Vivek ID, Vivek's employee ID, right? That should be a different than Rajat, right? Now after this I am going to define my name. Loan. Okay, okay. Okay, we will run it. First of all, I am going to just showcasing. Today we are not going to execute. Just I am showing you how to create all these things. Okay. Now there we want to create a new column that will be having the name. Okay. Now inside this name, we have to first of all write down how much of characters we are going to write down inside that name column. Now let us say that we are having another name column here. This is our first employee ID, and this is name. Now tell me, name will be having which type of data set? String. It should be having a string. But inside this, we have to first of all tell him that how much characters we are going to use inside this string, right? Varchar. I will explain you that. Now, yeah, varchar means, tell me, we are using pandas. Okay, if we are using pandas and we are creating new column, so tell me, there we define the how much characters we are going to define inside that column. No, but here if you have to create your name column, but here you have to create this name column. You are going to tell them that there how much numbers of maximum you are going to use there, right? And that's why these are the main specification. It is also mainly known as a SQL, because everything is here in the format of structured. Now structured means if I am writing any name, that name is also going to be in a structured format. That means it is first of all going to tell you that how much numbers of maximum you are going to add inside this name, right? So tomorrow we will create simple one database, and then we will start our class of stats. Remember that you have to first of all write down all the notes for which class, which one class. No, not of as of now. Don't write down the SQL notes. I will show you tomorrow notes. You have to mainly first of all complete last class part, introduction of SQL, and how you are going to explain your pipeline to your interviewer, and that pipeline you have to explain me in the next interview. Okay. And कोण आहेत तुम्ही दोघं? सुमित आणि स्वराज. तुम्ही काय करा, तुम्ही हे जे लास्ट क्लास आहे इथे, हा कालचा क्लास आहे, ओके, फ्रायडेचा. तर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तुम्ही या क्लासमधून, या क्लासमध्ये मी जे काही शिकवलेलं आहे तर त्याचे नोट्स काढायचे सर्वजण. लक्ष द्या समोर. या क्लासचे काय काढायचे तुम्हाला नोट्स, म्हणजे तुम्ही एका इंटरव्ह्यूअरला पाईपलाईन तुमची कशी एक्सप्लेन करणार आहात हे तुम्ही सांगणार आहात तिथे. ओके. त्यानंतर तुम्ही त्याची प्रॅक्टिस करून तुम्हाला एक प्रोजेक्ट एक्सप्लेन करायचा आहे मला या सॅटर्डे पर्यंत. हा, पाईपलाईन वर एनी एक्झाम्पल रिअल टाइम प्रोजेक्ट नाही, एक्झाम्पल घेऊन. किंवा तुम्ही आतापर्यंत जे ईडी टायटॅनिक डेटा सेट वरती केलं तर ते ऍज अ प्रोजेक्ट म्हणून सांगू शकता. ओके. Then tomorrow we will complete this SQL and we'll start the stats part. Okay.